So in the dance world, I've seen people talk about racism, and usually that's talking about white people doing discriminatory practices towards communities of color. So I'm gonna switch it up today. I'm not gonna talk about white people. I'm gonna talk about communities of color, and more specifically, colorism. Okay, now this is just my experience, and honestly, my experiences. I don't even know if it's considered colorism, but to me it is. So I'm going to talk about it, okay? So in the dance world, a lot of times being around women, men too, but I'm going to talk about women because that's usually who I'm around. In different dance style classes, I haven't been discriminated against, but I have been treated differently. And more so, I've had women, it's almost like they get threatened by me. And I'm going to go deeper into why I think that is. So, I think the reason why that is because even in the dance world, a lot of people, but I'm going to specify women, not because, I hate women or anything like that. I love women. I'm specifying women because that's who I'm around most of the time, okay? I want to make that very clear because men also can be very colorist, but I'm talking about women because that's usually who I'm around when it comes to my dance classes, my dance events, dance programs. When I have been in dance events, it's almost like women get threatened, and women sometimes get threatened by other women, but for me, I think what it is because for a lot of people, the way humans are conditioned, especially in actually most societies, the way people are conditioned is that the darker your skin is, the more inferior you are. So when I say inferior, that means you should walk with your head down low. You should carry yourself like you don't know who you are, and I don't carry myself like that. I carry myself like God is inside of me. Okay. So when I walk like I have power inside of me because I do. Right. And then two, especially talking about women, I don't agree with this, but women in society, the way we are taught is that our value lies in what we look like, our beauty, how much attention we can get, right? So if you are darker skinned, a lot of times people have this idea that, oh, well, she's darker, darker skinned women, the stereotype is that, they're inferior, they're not as pretty, they're aggressive, they're this, they're that, whatever. So when you see someone like me, and yes, I'm saying someone like me, walk in who's, talented, who's cultured, and basically what I'm saying is I think sometimes because I go against a lot of stereotypes about darker skinned women, it triggers people, right? And some of the worst energy I have gotten has been from my own people and other communities of color. And when I say communities of color, I'm talking about Latinos, Arabs, Asians, and Black people. And I think a lot of it comes from this idea is that darker skin is inferior, and darker skin, especially darker skinned women, because dark skinned men also do experience colorism, but sometimes it works in their favor because dark skin is seen as strong and masculine and sexy. That's why you'll hear things like tall, dark, and handsome. Whereas for women, usually fairness, lightness is seen as more appropriate for being a woman, right? So yeah, like I have experienced that before, and I bring that up because I feel like, different communities of color, whether it's Latinos, whether it's Arabs, whether it's Black people, whether it's Asians, we talk about white people a lot. We talk about racism a lot, but we don't talk about some of the discrimination that we do in our own communities against darker skinned people, especially darker skinned women. We don't talk about that. And I feel like it's important that we check our own biases because, we all, including me, we all have some type of bias. And it's important to do that because sometimes you don't know that you have a bias and you'll treat someone differently because of that, so I just wanted to bring that up. I have definitely experienced it. Some people say that's not colorism. Colorism is more so discrimination, which I can get that. But in my experience, just being a darker skinned woman in different dance spaces, I have definitely gotten energy where I'm treated differently and people get threatened. Especially there's this idea that as black women, especially I feel like darker skinned black women, when it comes to dance, the only dance styles we can do is maybe hip hop or twerk. Nothing wrong with those dance styles. I love those dance styles. But we can do anything, right? Just like my ambiguous sisters, my lighter skinned sisters, how a lot of times they're seen in different dance styles. People need to know that women that look like me, we can do all types of different dance styles. And when I'm in different dance style classes and when people see that I'm actually really good and I tend to command attention, people get triggered. People get jealous because they're not expecting a woman that looks like me to be good or to carry myself the way I carry myself. So I'm only bringing this up because, like I said earlier, we talk about racism, but we don't talk about colorism. Because even in different communities of color, there's biases against darker skinned people, especially dark skinned women. Okay, so let me know, like, is this something that you've experienced, especially as a darker skinned woman, like in the dance world? Do you like resonate with what I'm talking about? Because I'm not crazy. I know what I'm talking about. And I would love to know if, other women have experienced this. So yeah, just put in the comments and I'd love to hear your experience. Okay.